All right, welcome to the Toyota studio here with former Giants quarterback Eli Manning. Eli, good to be back in your hometown for the Super Bowl.
Always great to be back in New Orleans. Get to stay with my parents this week, and my mom was up this morning offering to cook me breakfast. So exciting week, and glad to be here.
Nothing better. I got to ask, you've essentially pitched two perfect games in two Super Bowls. When this week rolls around every year, is it just a flood of great memories from those two games?
Definitely, and it's been fun this past week. Saw a lot of highlights from those games: the David Tyree catch, the Plaxico Burress touchdown, the Manningham catch down the sideline. So it's great to reminisce about those plays, but also being here this week, you get to see a lot of old teammates. Sean O'Hara, Chris Canty, I've already seen just today, but I'll assume I'll see a lot more, a lot of great hugs and memories, just celebrating those championships with those guys.
You probably never get tired of talking about those games and those runs. If you had to right now, could you spit out the play call for the David Tyree catch and or the Manningham catch?
Yeah, David Tyree would just be half right, 76 Union Y sail, and then the Manningham would be, 9 slot wide, 81 key otter, W go.
That's impressive.
There you go.
All these years later.
Those are two good plays. So I've probably called out those play calls a few times over the last 17 years.
They never get old. Speaking of your former team, they haven't had as much playoff success since your career ended. I wonder, off the top, what are some of the things that they should do and look for to get back to a weekend like this?
Well, it's tough. It's not just one thing. They'll obviously have to attack the quarterback position this year, whether in the draft or in free agency, and Daniel Jones not being there. So that'll be interesting. But it's just finding ways to win those tight games. And you saw they were able to do that 2 years ago when they went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game in Minnesota, who was playing well. And so they were able to just, hey, whether they were down in the fourth quarter, make those critical plays, get a stop on defense, get a big, drive to get a touchdown or to run out the clock on offense. And it's that mindset, it's that belief that we're going to win this game. And they obviously have that. It's similar coaching staff to that same team. It's just getting everybody buying in, totally believing that we can do this and we're going to make the commitments to do everything possible to be a playoff contending team.
Has it ever entered your mind or anyone in your families that maybe they should just wait a couple years and maybe draft your nephew?
No, I think, obviously we're supporting Arch and what he's doing on his college career. He started 2 college games, so let's just pump the brakes. Let him enjoy just playing at Texas, being the starter, being the guy this year. So happy for him and all the success he's had so far, and looking forward to these next couple of years that he'll be at Texas.
It's different when you're a quarterback and Manning's your last name, as you know. Well, the question everyone's thinking about today has to do with the Hall of Fame. Here's my question: how surprised were you when you found out that your brother made it on the first ballot?
I was not surprised at all. This, a 5-time MVP, a guy that 14 Pro Bowls. I could be up here for an hour talking about all his stats, and so I think that was an easy decision, a quick decision, very deserving, and one of the all-time best to ever play the game.
I think the debate was about 4 minutes long.
Yeah, maybe.
So in Indianapolis, Peyton was known for being a prankster. Everybody on the team knew about it. Everybody got it. Did you ever prank Tom Coughlin? Or was that something that nobody crossed that line?
Yeah, you're not going to mess with Coach Coughlin, really? I don't think. You don't want to prank him too much. So he was a I don't know if he would see the humor in it. Sometimes you want to prank people where afterwards they're like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty funny. And if you would have had went up into his office, got his cell phone, put it in the team meeting room, in the podium when he's giving a talk, and then called it, and it went off, that would be pretty funny. He hated cell phones, hated them. If they ever went off, that's a big fine. That's $1,000 right there in the spot. And I thought about it many years of doing that, and I was just I don't think he would be funny, and I think I would get fined over this somehow. So I was I'm not going to do it.
Even after 2 Super Bowls, probably best to stay away?
Stay away. He was all business, especially in season. All season, you could have fun with them, and you saw the lighter side of Coach Coughlin. I still do a lot of work with them on some charity initiatives that we align on and have a lot of fun. But when it comes to being on time and, you can't mess with Coach too much.
So you just mentioned the play calls from those 2 memorable Super Bowl plays. I wonder, in a Super Bowl or not, was there ever a play where it just unfolded the wrong way, you made the wrong decision, and it worked out great?
Yeah, there's definitely plays that go on where, hey, you misread a coverage, you see something, you made the wrong check, and it just kind of worked out. I can't think of any in the Super Bowl, but definitely have a couple of plays where, hey, I checked to a run, and we got to, they fake me out. They have a guy like blitzing off the edge. I'm checking to a run. I'm thinking one versus Dallas in 2011, where we got to win the final game at home to make the playoffs. We're both kind of going for a spot right there, and I checked to a run to the weak side to Ahmad Bradshaw. They blitz the safety off the edge. They should tackle him for 5 yards. Instead, he breaks that tackle. He goes in for the touchdown. We eventually win the game. So it's one of those in the meetings the next day they're like, that's a minus, but a great play. Ahmad,
Right.
He bailed you out on that one.
Right.
So sometimes you need your players to bail you out.
That's the fun part. What is this week like for players that the fans, the media don't see? Because it's a different week, right? They're here for an entire week. You're sleeping in a hotel room. There's got to be parts of it that are a little bit different than a regular week.
Oh, it's very different than a regular week, and it can be difficult for the players. Just for the last 22 weeks, you've been on a tight schedule. Like every day is the same in the NFL. Your practice weeks, I mean, the only difference is whether you play on a Monday night or a Thursday night. And really the Monday night's the same. It's just you move everything back one day. You get an extra off day. The Thursday night's a little different, but it's hard. All of a sudden these players are in a hotel. They're taking buses to practice. They're not in their normal meeting space. They don't have their meeting room and all the film they can watch and everything at their disposal. They have different food that they're eating every week. They're not home with their families. So I think it's important for them to try to keep everything as similar as possible. If you got a massage on Wednesdays, get your massage on Wednesday. If you go to dinner with your lineman on Thursday, get that. If you eat a certain food on Saturday night, arrange. You got to plan ahead a little bit more to arrange those things so it stays the same.
Seems like you did pretty well at it. Keeping the routine,
Kept the
playing well,
routine.
2-0. You're here with Toyota this week. I wanted to ask you about your partnership with the NFL Flag Football Program. What do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I've been a part of Team Toyota for 20 years and love what they're doing, just supporting the next generation of superstars through their partnership with the NFL Flag. Got a few of the participants here. We got Josie and Daniel. They are the NFL Flag Players of the Year. They're going to get this award at the honors tonight. They're going to be recognized and presented by Toyota for just their great work, not only on the field, what they're doing, but off the field, making a difference in their community. Just another way Toyota is promoting, football for all. Everybody getting involved, and they did a great job. Been throwing some routes with them today, and they truly are superstars.
That's awesome. Congratulations, guys. Enjoy the honors tonight. And thank you, Eli, for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.